What if everything we thought we knew about Antarctica was a lie? In a shocking revelation that has sent ripples through the scientific community, Elon Musk has just exposed something extraordinary hidden beneath the icy continent. For decades, governments have kept this secret locked away, but now the world's most influential tech billionaire is breaking his silence. This discovery could change everything we understand about life on Earth and our place in the universe. Be warned. What you're about to learn will challenge everything you believe about our planet's most mysterious continent. Antarctica has always been shrouded in mystery. The most remote and inhospitable place on Earth, it's a continent where temperatures plummet to minus 128 degrees Fahrenheit and winds can reach 200 miles per hour. For over a century, explorers, scientists, and researchers have ventured into this frozen wasteland, but many of their discoveries have remained classified. Now, Elon Musk, the man behind Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink, has revealed information that government agencies have desperately tried to keep hidden. Today, we're diving deep into the shocking truth about what lies beneath Antarctica's ice sheets. We'll explore how Musk gained access to this classified information, why world governments have kept it secret for so long, and what this means for humanity's future. The story begins in 2018, when SpaceX was conducting routine satellite imaging for their Starlink constellation project. As Musk's team analyzed high-resolution images of Earth's polar regions, they stumbled upon something that shouldn't exist. Deep beneath Antarctica's ice sheet, thermal imaging revealed massive structures that appeared to be generating their own heat signatures. Dr. Sarah Chen, a former SpaceX imaging specialist who spoke anonymously, described the moment of discovery as absolutely stunning. The thermal patterns showed geometric shapes that were clearly artificial, spanning areas larger than major cities. What made this even more extraordinary was that these structures were located nearly 2 miles beneath the ice, in regions where no human construction should be possible. Musk immediately ordered his team to conduct additional scans using SpaceX's most advanced imaging technology. What they found defied all logical explanation. The structures weren't just buildings, they appeared to be an entire underground complex with what looked like transportation networks, power generation facilities, and living quarters designed for beings much larger than humans. The thermal signatures indicated that whatever was down there was not only active but had been operational for an extremely long time. The heat patterns suggested technology that was far more advanced than anything humans had developed, while with energy output levels that would require fusion reactors or some other exotic power source that we haven't yet mastered. Within 48 hours of SpaceX's discovery, Musk received an unexpected visit from officials representing multiple government agencies. According to sources close to the situation, representatives from NASA, the CIA, and even international organizations arrived at SpaceX headquarters, demanding that all data related to the Antarctic findings be immediately classified and turned over to federal authorities. The officials revealed that what Musk had discovered was part of a decades-long international conspiracy to hide the truth about Antarctica. Since the Antarctic Treaty was signed in 1959, supposedly to preserve the continent for scientific research, the real purpose had been to restrict access to areas where these underground structures had been detected using primitive technology of that era. Documents that were allegedly shown to Musk revealed that as early as 1947, Admiral Richard Byrd's Operation Highjump had encountered evidence of advanced technology and possible non-human intelligence in Antarctica. The operation, which officially was described as a training exercise, actually involved over 4,000 personnel and lasted several months. Byrd reportedly returned with accounts of aircraft that could fly from pole to pole at incredible speeds and technology that was decades ahead of anything the military possessed. The government officials explained that revealing this information to the public would cause worldwide panic and potentially destabilize global governments. They argued that humanity wasn't ready to learn that we were not alone on Earth and that there was technology on our planet that could revolutionize energy, transportation, and space travel overnight. However, Musk, being the maverick entrepreneur that he is, refused to simply hand over the data and remain silent. He believed that this discovery belonged to all of humanity, not just government agencies who had been keeping it secret for over 70 years. What happened next reads like something out of a science fiction thriller. Musk quietly assembled a team of his most trusted engineers and scientists to conduct a clandestine investigation into the Antarctic anomaly. Using resources from Tesla, SpaceX, and his other companies, he began developing technology specifically designed to penetrate the ice and investigate the structures below. The team included former NASA engineers who had worked on Mars rover projects, experts in ground-penetrating radar, and even specialists in xenoarchaeology, the theoretical study of non-human artifacts. Musk reportedly invested over $200 million of his own money into this secret project, which he codenamed Operation Ice Phoenix. Working under the cover of developing new drilling technology for Mars colonization, Musk's team created revolutionary ice-penetrating probes equipped with advanced sensors, cameras, and communication equipment. These probes were designed to drill through the Antarctic ice sheet and establish contact with whatever was hidden beneath. In late 2019, Musk personally traveled to Antarctica under the guise of conducting climate research for Tesla's environmental initiatives. What he discovered during this expedition would shake him to his core and change his entire perspective on humanity's place in the universe. The drilling operation took place in a remote area of East Antarctica, far from any research stations or international monitoring. As the probe descended through nearly 2 miles of ice, the team monitored its progress from a makeshift command center that Musk had established in a specially modified Tesla Cybertruck prototype designed for extreme cold weather conditions. When the probe finally broke through into a vast underground cavern, the images it transmitted back left everyone speechless. The cavern was enormous, easily large enough to house several football stadiums, and it was filled with technology that appeared to be thousands of years old yet still functioning perfectly. The structures that Musk's probe discovered were unlike anything ever seen on Earth. Massive crystalline formations served as what appeared to be power sources, generating energy through some unknown process that created no waste heat or radiation. Transportation tubes made of an unidentifiable metallic substance crisscrossed the cavern, with some leading deeper underground toward even larger complexes. Most shocking of all were the clear signs that these structures had been designed for beings significantly different from humans. Doorways and corridors were built to accommodate creatures that were much taller and had different proportions than any known Earth species. Analysis of the construction materials revealed elements that don't exist in Earth's periodic table, suggesting technology that originated from somewhere else entirely. But perhaps the most disturbing discovery was evidence that these underground facilities were not abandoned. The probe detected movement within the structures, heat signatures that suggested living beings, and even what appeared to be some form of advanced artificial intelligence monitoring the cavern systems. Musk later revealed in a private interview that during the initial probe mission, the team received what could only be described as a response from whatever intelligence inhabited the underground complex. The probe's communication systems detected structured signals that seemed to be attempting some form of first contact protocol. The beings, or whatever they were, appeared to be aware that they had been discovered and were trying to communicate with Musk's team. The signals contained mathematical sequences, star charts, and what appeared to be information about Earth's history spanning back millions of years, suggesting that these entities had been observing and possibly influencing human development for far longer than anyone had imagined. Analysis of the transmitted data revealed references to ancient civilizations that had supposedly never existed, technological advances that occurred thousands of years before they should have been possible, and most terrifyingly, what appeared to be warnings about future events that could threaten all life on Earth. The implications of Musk's discovery extended far beyond the existence of non-human intelligence on Earth. The technology observed in the Antarctic complex represented advances that could solve every major challenge facing humanity. The energy generation systems appeared to use principles that could provide unlimited clean power without any environmental impact. The transportation technology suggested methods of travel that could make interplanetary colonization not just possible but routine. Some of the structures appeared to be designed for space travel, with what looked like launch facilities that could send vehicles beyond Earth's atmosphere without the massive fuel requirements that current rocket technology demands. Most intriguing of all was evidence of what appeared to be advanced medical technology that could extend human lifespan indefinitely and cure diseases that we currently consider terminal. The beings inhabiting the complex seemed to have mastered biological engineering to a degree that made them essentially immortal. Musk realized that this technology could accelerate his plans for Mars colonization by centuries. Instead of the gradual process he had envisioned, Humanity could potentially develop the capabilities to not just visit Mars but to terraform entire planets and spread throughout the galaxy within decades rather than centuries. However, accessing this technology would require direct contact with the entities controlling it, and there was no guarantee that they would be willing to share their knowledge with humanity. In fact, some of the communications suggested that they viewed humans as a potentially dangerous species that might not be ready for such advanced capabilities. News of Musk's discoveries didn't remain secret for long. By early 2020, intelligence agencies from multiple countries had detected unusual activity around SpaceX facilities and began investigating. When they realized the scope of what Musk had uncovered, it triggered what insiders describe as the most significant international crisis since the Cuban Missile Crisis. The revelation that non-human intelligence had been living beneath Antarctica for potentially thousands of years, while world governments knew about it, kept it secret, created unprecedented tensions between nations. Countries that had been part of the Antarctic Treaty found themselves accused of participating in a conspiracy that had deceived the entire human race. Russia immediately moved additional military assets to their Antarctic research stations, claiming they needed to protect their sovereign interests in the region. China announced plans for a massive expansion of their polar research program, with suspiciously large numbers of personnel and equipment being deployed. The United States activated emergency protocols that hadn't been used since the Cold War, and even smaller nations began demanding access to Antarctic territories they had never shown interest in before. Behind closed doors, emergency meetings were being held at the highest levels of government. World leaders who had never been told about the Antarctic secret were briefed on decades of hidden discoveries, classified research, and contact attempts that had been conducted without their knowledge. Many were furious that such momentous decisions had been made by intelligence agencies operating beyond democratic oversight. The situation became even more complex when several world governments realized that some of their most advanced military technologies had actually been reverse-engineered from new artifacts recovered from Antarctic sites over the decades. Stealth technology, advanced materials used in fighter jets, and even some computer processing capabilities had origins that could be traced back to non-human sources. This meant that military balances between nations had been artificially influenced by access to alien technology, raising questions about whether various conflicts and technological advantages had been fair or the result of some countries having better access to the Antarctic discoveries than others. As international tensions escalated and military forces began converging on Antarctica, something unprecedented happened. The entities beneath the ice made their first direct communication with surface humanity, and they chose Elon Musk as their primary contact point. The message, transmitted through the same probe network that Musk had established, was both fascinating and terrifying. The entities identified themselves as the Custodians, a species that had arrived on Earth millions of years ago when the planet was still developing its early life forms. They had been observing and occasionally guiding human evolution, but always from a distance and with minimal interference. The Custodians revealed that they had established multiple underground facilities around the planet, with Antarctica being just one of several major bases. They had chosen to remain hidden because they believed humanity needed to develop independently before being ready for contact with more advanced civilizations. However, they were now concerned about humanity's rapid technological advancement without corresponding development in wisdom and cooperation. Climate change, nuclear weapons, and NB. The increasing militarization of space were all factors that worried them about humanity's readiness to join what they described as a galactic community of intelligent species. The most shocking revelation was that Earth was essentially under a form of protective quarantine. The Custodians had been preventing other, potentially hostile alien species from making contact with humanity until we reached a certain level of technological and social development. But they warned that this protection wouldn't last forever, and humanity needed to prepare for eventual contact with civilizations that might not have our best interests at heart. They offered Musk and through him, humanity, a choice. We could continue on our current path of gradual technological development, with the Custodians remaining hidden and providing occasional subtle guidance. Or we could accept their direct assistance, gaining access to technologies that would advance our civilization by thousands of years, but also accepting the responsibilities that came with such knowledge. Faced with perhaps the most important decision in human history, Musk found himself in an impossible position. The weight of speaking for all humanity was something no individual should have to bear, yet circumstances had placed him in exactly that situation. The custodians had made it clear that this was a limited-time offer. They were willing to reveal themselves and share their technology, but only if humanity could demonstrate that it was ready to handle such knowledge responsibly. This meant ending warfare, addressing climate change, and establishing some form of unified global governance that could speak for the entire species. Musk realized that accepting the custodians' offer would require fundamental changes to human society that might take decades or centuries to achieve. Rejecting it might mean missing humanity's only chance to access technology that could solve every major problem we face and open up the galaxy for human expansion. Working behind the scenes, Musk began reaching out to other world leaders, scientists, and philosophers to discuss the implications of the choice humanity faced. He established a secret council of advisors that included figures like Stephen Hawking before his death, who had warned about the dangers of alien contact, and current leaders in artificial intelligence research, who understood the complexities of dealing with superior intelligence. The discussions were intense and often heated. Some argued that humanity should maintain its independence and continue developing naturally, even if it meant slower progress and continued suffering from problems that alien technology could solve immediately. Others believed that the opportunity was too important to pass up and that humanity should accept whatever conditions the custodians required. Meanwhile, the custodians made it clear that they were monitoring these discussions and would judge humanity's readiness based not just on Musk's decision, but on how the entire species responded to the knowledge of their existence. This created additional pressure as world governments struggled with whether to reveal the truth to their populations or continue the decades-long cover-up. In a move that surprised everyone, including his own advisors, Musk decided that the decision was too important to be made by governments or small groups of leaders. In late 2023, he announced that he would reveal everything to the public and let humanity decide its own fate through democratic processes around the world. The announcement came during what was supposed to be a routine SpaceX launch presentation. Instead of discussing rocket technology, Musk used the global audience to reveal the existence of the custodians, the underground Antarctic facilities, and the choice that humanity faced. The reaction was immediate and overwhelming. Within hours, the video had been viewed by over 500 million people worldwide. Social media platforms crashed under the volume of discussion and debate. Stock markets plunged as investors grappled with the implications of alien technology potentially disrupting every industry on Earth. World governments, caught completely off guard by Musk's decision to go public, scrambled to respond. Some tried to discredit his claims, while others were forced to confirm details when evidence began emerging from their own classified files. The Antarctic Treaty Organization held emergency sessions as member nations accused each other of withholding crucial information. Religious leaders found themselves having to reconcile their teachings with the reality that humanity was not alone in the universe, that our development had been guided by non-human intelligence. Some embraced the revelation as confirmation of divine intervention, while others struggled with the theological implications of advanced beings who had been present throughout human history. The months following Musk's revelation saw humanity grappling with the most significant paradigm shift in recorded history. Protests erupted in major cities around the world, with some demanding immediate contact with the custodians while others called for their complete expulsion from Earth. Scientists who had spent their careers searching for extraterrestrial life found themselves vindicated but also overwhelmed by the implications of the discovery. The existence of the custodians meant that everything we thought we knew about human evolution, technological development, and our place in the universe needed to be reconsidered. Educational institutions worldwide began revising curricula to incorporate the new understanding of human history. Archaeological sites that had previously been considered mysterious or unexplained were re-examined with the knowledge that non-human intelligence might have been involved in their construction. The technology sector experienced unprecedented chaos as companies tried to understand how alien influence might have shaped current innovations. Patent offices were flooded with challenges to existing technologies that might have been derived from custodian sources. The legal implications alone were staggering, with potential lawsuits worth trillions of dollars. Meanwhile, the custodians continued to communicate through Musk's established channels, providing additional information about their presence on Earth and their relationship with other alien civilizations. They revealed that humanity was being watched by multiple species, some benevolent and others with less friendly intentions. The protective quarantine that had shielded Earth for millennia was beginning to weaken as human technology approached levels that would make us visible to more advanced civilizations. Within the next 50 years, contact with other alien species was inevitable, whether humanity was ready or not. As of 2024, the world remains divided on how to respond to the custodian's offer. A global referendum organized through the United Nations has been proposed but faces challenges from nations that refuse to participate and are concerns about whether such a momentous decision should be made through democratic processes. Musk has established the Human Custodian Dialogue Foundation, a non-profit organization dedicated to facilitating communication between the species and preparing humanity for whatever choice is ultimately made. The foundation has attracted some of the world's brightest minds in science, philosophy, and ethics. The custodians have demonstrated their goodwill by sharing limited technological insights that have already led to breakthroughs in clean energy and medical treatments. These controlled releases serve as previews of what full cooperation could accomplish while also showing respect for humanity's need to maintain some level of technological independence. However, time is running short. The custodians have indicated that the protective measures they've maintained around Earth require enormous resources and cannot be sustained indefinitely. Other alien civilizations are becoming increasingly interested in Earth as human radio and internet signals spread further into space. Recent deep space observations have detected what appear to be artificial objects approaching the outer edges of our solar system. The custodians have confirmed that these represent scout missions from other species who are evaluating Earth's potential for contact or conquest. Musk has publicly stated that he believes humanity has less than 10 years to make a decision about accepting custodian assistance before the choice is made for us by circumstances beyond our control. He continues to advocate for acceptance, arguing that the benefits far outweigh the risks and that humanity's survival may depend on gaining access to superior technology and protection. Thank you for joining me on this incredible journey through one of the most important stories ever told. If this revelation has shocked you as much as it has the rest of the world, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more updates on this developing situation. Share your thoughts in the comments about what choice you think humanity should make. And remember, the future of our species may depend on how seriously we take this decision. The truth is out there, and now thanks to Elon Musk's courage, the truth is here. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.